Anonymous Audacity with Amy and Adrienne, your
Yes.
host. Two incredibly anxious women approaching 40 here to claim our audacity
Yeah,
and being the ultimate sayers of truth in judging your social behavior. Did you know ultimate sayers of truth is not a saying?
I did not know that. How can that not be a
How
saying?
can that not be?
Ultimate sayers of truth. It sounds like something straight out of a Greek tragedy.
Right. Do you know how many AI Googles everything I've asked? Is this a thing?
That's amazing.
No. Okay.
Ultimate, how many? How many?
Two.
Ultimate sayers of truth is
I thought it was
a
something out of the
tagline.
legal system, the court system. Like,
Hmm. It sounds to me like something out of, you know, the Odyssey.
maybe
He's
I'm
like,
being slayers of truth. That's what's going on right now in our country.
too true. Also, a really good metal band name. Truth Slayer.
Why aren't these things things?
Okay, Truth Slayer for real though is an incredible name for a metal band.
Okay. Next up, I got my keyboard right here. That was like 2024 on the to-do list.
Hey, mark it off, check it off.
Yeah, I learned something. I progressed. I know
Amazing.
more than I knew last year, which was
Incredible.
nothing.
What
Well,
can you play?
I mean, I was learning the notes.
Incredible.
Yeah,
You have to start.
nothing. I know nothing. But what I did learn in 2024 to overcome that is that that's my brain. That's how I work.
Mm,
I find like really awesome things that I'm only interested in for a short amount of time.
yes, we have that in common.
You're ADHD?
I don't know if I'm diagnosable, but I certainly have like 7 to 10 projects that I start and then just sort of,
Kind of like, well, that was cool last week.
yeah, exactly. And then I'll have like a bout of guilt that I haven't finished it, and then I'll go back to it and like work on it a little more, and then
Oh, but I
we'll,
talked to you
we'll
about this.
switch.
This. I don't think I've taken away the guilt and the shame
Love it.
because I have seen, this is what age gives you. I have seen that that's just how my brain works. I
Mm,
kind of like get hyper fixated on it. I put a
hmm
bunch of good ideas towards it, and then
hmm
maybe my motivation slumps a little bit, or like I hit a wall, but
Yeah,
I know that I always come back to it. And I am always juggling like seven things,
I like
but
that.
at
Removing the
one point,
shame.
when those all complete, it's like Magnum Otis or whatever. Is that a
Magnum
saying?
opus. Magnum opus.
That was close. That was
It
close.
was close, but I really like Otis. I like Magnum Otis, almost maybe as like a wrestler's name.
Okay, we've got a band, we've got a
We've got a
wrestler.
band.
Okay, so definitely take your shame and guilt out of that because
Yes.
this is another example in history on
hmm
like we were going to do this. I needed to figure out some of my shit
Yeah.
first, and then like it happens. But
We came back to it. We're doing it. We're
takes time.
absolutely it's a great example.
Yes. All right. Are you gonna kick it off or am I
I say
host?
I think you should kick it off.
Okay.
But should we say what we're doing?
Of course.
What are we doing, Adrian?
We are examining our favorite Am I the asshole to be able to be the ultimate seers of truth. That's why does that not, I feel like that is it has to be a saying, but finding a post and I selfishly wanted to find and probably always will want to find something that's relatable to some like gripe I have about something
Mm,
and can What I didn't think was I was gonna find a post where, again, it validated my own experience, but
Mm,
also saddened me that there's really no hope. But I want to hug this 32-year-old man. Okay. Who I
all right.
guess we never learned the name in these, right?
No, that's the
OP.
the OP, the OP.
They're anonymous. Okay. So he is a 32-year-old male,
Okay.
married for 6 years with two children. And I, of course, was like, not relatable. Who
Mm.
cares? But the title was, Am I the asshole for being willing to divorce my wife
Okay.
because she's become friends with my brother who bullied me my whole life?
Ooh, relevant.
Now, here's my like, I'm already like, you're totally good, divorce her. Like, I
Yeah.
believe
Right.
you.
Right. Right.
But okay, so he was constantly humiliated, and all throughout he's talking
Mm.
about the shit he went through, which I thought was like hilarious not hilarious, but in a sick way to see like, oh, how this transforms with two boys. Like, because I don't
Oh,
have brothers, I don't
right.
know like, I mean, I guess I've heard about it, like wedgies or whatever.
Oh.
But
Uh,
he, and it says his childhood and teenage years. Okay, his brother is Dean, 33,
okay. Okay.
and he had like embarrassing stories. So he would talk about, he would always say that his brother shit his pants. And that was like his thing he fixated on, I guess. So at school, they went to the same school.
What?
Yes. And he would be like, be just in a room and be like, bro, why do you always shit your pants at home or wherever? And like, bring yourself back to middle school or high
Uh,
school, whatever. Done.
humiliating.
You're done. You're
You're done.
never recovering from that.
No. Well,
And
and
by
that's a
your own
credible,
blood,
right. Well, and it's a credible source to the other kids because, like, why would your brother say that
how do
about
you
you or
disprove
if
that?
it wasn't true? And he's around you at home.
You can
So,
never. He found this golden, like as stupid as it sounds,
no, no.
it's credible and it's like embarrassing enough
Oh, yeah.
to and remember, like I'm sure his nickname was like
Like,
pant shitter. You know, like
shit stain or
what if his
something.
name is Sean, pant shitter Sean? Like that would
Oh,
have just,
God.
dude.
So, hold on a second. This brother was older.
Oh, older 1 year, so maybe they were like
Oh,
Irish twins, but then they would have always been in school together,
that is so
right?
mean. That's mean. That's cruel. Okay, I'm with you right now.
But also, totally, I can. Here's your devil's advocate. Brothers, they fight. Pick
Yes,
on each other. You should have seen Johnny and Joey back then. You know, whatever.
right,
He
sure,
needs
sure.
to be a man. He should be a man.
Mm,
Okay, so then he was like getting into his relationships, whatever. But then he wants to start being friends with his wife. And to me, I'm immediate that would be a normal in a healthy relationship.
right.
You welcome that.
Yeah, of course you'd be excited.
But he is at his like he's at his split's end, you know.
Yeah.
I don't, with now he's like maybe they're having an affair. Like they're
Shit.
he's thinking that. Okay, so he has as far as like who has his side and who has her side. So the
Okay.
wife's family thinks he's controlling and thinks it's like crazy, which
Mm,
is probably devastating because how do you explain this? It's his family, you know?
hmm.
And then, all right, he says like his family gets it, but it's only like his rogue family members. I totally get this. Like his
Yeah.
cousins or
Yeah.
his friends, but it's
Right.
not, he obviously it's his parents that have enabled this entire life. Like this
Right.
mirrors my entire, I get it. And he's like stuck. I don't know. So
So I have,
from an outsider, what would you think,
oh,
like at first?
so
Like this is
okay,
crazy. You should figure it
I
out.
have I have so many thoughts about this, I feel like. So first of all, I don't appreciate that her family knows about this. I think that like that she went to her family and was like, he won't let me be friends with his brother. To me is a little strange. Like if
You
Eric,
don't, huh?
well,
Okay,
if Eric was
continue.
like, I was bullied my whole life by this person, and so I feel uncomfortable with you being friends with them. I wouldn't be like, "Ah, Mom, guess what? Like that to me feels
You
like
know
a
why I'm surprised?
why.
Because I'm conditioned in an enmeshed family where there's not boundaries. And I'm like, I think, of course, she's going to tell her family.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
me. I have to like check myself. No, that is like a private thing and that they need to work
and like
out.
right. Like I feel like and maybe, but I have to examine some like perhaps some bad assumptions that I have that I'm not questioning or investigating. But like because if I went to my mom, for example, and I said, "Oh my gosh, mama, Eric is being so weird about I want to be like really close friends with his brother, and he's not letting me." My mom would be like, "What are you doing? Amy, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?" Like, you know what I mean? She wouldn't be like, "Oh my God, that's so controlling." She'd be like, "Why do you want to be best friends with his brother? Like, you can be best friends with anyone else that you find. Why, if he has a problem with it, why are you
Yep.
doing that?" Like
Yep.
and I wouldn't even tell my mom because number one, like if he comes to me and he's like, this is any retelling of, you know, that type of behavior, that type of experience is very vulnerable for him to come and say, like, I was bullied by this person. I'm not trying to tell his business to my family members.
Yeah.
So, first of all, to me, that's a red flag, another red flag for the wife, for me. Okay. I could see maybe telling my little brother just as like, I want to talk this out with you, but not like my brother would not be like, he's controlling. He would be like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And
I'm
so,
further thinking, dang, your family is healthy. That
well,
is,
we
uh,
do.
those are normal responses, but
Yeah.
this, to me, this brother hasn't. Actually, he has, like in his words, he's unpacked what he's gone through, and that he admits his parents are the actual worst part
Really? What does he say about
because of their silence and their enabling.
does he
So,
still, does the bullying behavior still occur, or is it like he never apologized? Because the other questions I have
right.
are, why is his brother trying to be best friends with his wife? Unless he's either trying to apologize and make good and have redemption and be like, I was a real shit brother and now I'm trying to, and that's like a
By
weird way
doing
to show it.
something,
That's a weird way to show it, but like, I'm going to try to
yes.
get close, or I'm going to ruin your in life by becoming best friends with your wife and then fucking your relationship up somehow. Do you know what I mean? Because
So,
that's the
do
other
you
one.
know what I truly believe?
Tell me.
That the second.
Yeah. I mean,
I
why
know that's
that?
what he's doing because of his personality.
Yeah.
Of this, I think it's now for me, it's like targeting these toxic people that you
Mm,
can tell have a personality disorder and they
mm,
will never change. And
right.
it's like, people call it out in the comments what it is. It's kind of like,
What is
oh,
it? Does he have like
he's
borderline?
narcissistic, the
Uh,
brother.
yeah.
So, and it's not, people call it bullying.
Right.
But what he is actually doing
Yeah.
is the brother Dean has no self-esteem and he actually feels like a piece of shit
Yeah, right.
inside. But he doesn't have the normal like emotional skills to deal with that. And he has no empathy to stop him from lashing out at a victim. And like his feelings come out in you shit your pants.
God.
And so he gets
Uh,
to feel good. And then what the sick part is if Dean were to, or the brother OP were to like talk further, I guarantee he would say, you know, but sometimes he was the best. He would do this. And so that's a certain stage of how they get you back
yeah.
in
Yeah.
and manipulate. But what he is
Oh,
ultimately doing over time is ripping down the brother's self-esteem.
for sure.
And then the parents, by the parents never stepping in and saying, Dean, that's inappropriate. and
Right.
teaching him empathy in
Right.
childhood and figuring out like why is Dean doing this in the first place?
Right.
Then the brother just internalized it and was like, I guess this is how I should be treated.
That's horrible.
And so the bullying stops, but then it's manipulative. So they'll just start like looking down on you, like, and why are you doing that with your life? Or like, whatever. Slowly, it's not like wedgies anymore. It's like cruel,
Hmm.
emotional words that tear you down and then like make you question reality. So
That's
I don't know. This guy, what sucks is like he's fucked
yeah.
because his wife is either the fact that they didn't have this conversation prior to getting married is a red flag for me for the relationship.
Right. Right.
Like
That he
that's
never told her about.
yeah, they just now became like friends. I mean, this is but so what I'm assuming though is like maybe Dean had access to the OP to like get his validation by like cutting him down. He probably called him and was like,
Mhm.
manipulating him. But then when he got married, he didn't have as much access. So he
Mm,
has to find like a new outlet. Let's be friends with the wife. So it
that is
was
so twisted.
probably took a while. I don't know, but she's either just unfortunately just like Dean and is also has some toxic behaviors going
Mhm.
on and maybe he didn't even realize he's obviously not processed all this, so he didn't realize like he's that's what he's attracted to now because he has no self-respect. So he wants this,
Looking for someone to continue
yeah,
relating.
abusing him.
Phew, excuse me.
But like pretend loving him, but
Yeah.
really just
Okay. Oh,
controlling him. And
run, man. Run for your life.
right. So, or she just is oblivious and maybe more like maybe she is so healthy that she does think it's crazy that you can't be friends with someone's brother. I mean, I
Oh,
do understand that aspect. Like that is kind of crazy.
I get it. If, okay, this is my thing. If you like l- from her perspective, and maybe this is reductionist, so as I'm saying it, we'll have to see if there's some effed up assumptions happening. But like, if you love and trust someone enough to marry them, and then after you're married to them, they come to you and they say, listen, what you're doing is making me very uncomfortable because of stuff that happened in my past and yada, yada, yada. Like, why would you want to fight that? It'd be one thing if,
Unless you're unhealthy.
yeah, it'd be one thing if
Yeah.
it were like, okay, okay, so here you go. This is like a scenario where I think that it would be controlling. If she had, let's say she had some friends, like some girlfriends that she went on trips with every year and he was like, I don't like that. I don't like what you're doing. I don't want you to be friends with them. I don't want you to be going on these trips. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm having trust issues and confidence issues. I would be like calling my mom and I would be like, can you believe that he did this? So that in that situation, that would be totally different for me. I would be like, it's none of your business. These are my friends. I can hang out with
Hmm.
my friends. I'm not doing anything wrong. Like there's something, this is your problem. This is a you thing. Like, talk
Yeah.
about controlling. Like, that is controlling.
And
If
you
it's
trust
your,
yourself enough to identify that, which is great. Like,
well, I mean, I don't, I hope, I think I would. But like, the other piece is if it's their family, that's totally different. It's totally different because it's their
that's such a great
relationship
point.
that they understand better than you do, that they've had for longer than you do, that are literally their relationships, not yours. So why are you trying to make a fight about that? Like to me,
Yeah.
that's part of where the line is too.
And that's the benefit of being in a relationship, baby. You can vet people. You're already like, I
That's right.
trust you. I trusted you enough to marry you.
Right.
You know this person for your entire life. Like,
Right.
yes, I mean, yeah, that's like saying, I don't trust your judgment enough.
Right.
Damn. So that's why this is so sad to me, is this is the final, like this guy, I don't know if he's gonna make it. Honestly, because he has now, like, he probably, from his perspective, his brother has, like, kind of taken probably every good thing from him he's ever
Yeah.
had. Like, even if they didn't, like, outright ruin it, he knew he couldn't talk about it because, like, they would ruin it, you know? So, and now the ultimate is Brad.
What?
Like, he's ending his marriage, dude.
That's horrible. What are the does the OP
Two kids,
do? Oh shit. So they've been married a while too, a couple years at
6
least.
years.
So the OP, that's
Yeah.
Dean is the OP? Is that what we're calling, or
No,
the brother? We're calling
he's
Dean
the
the brother.
brother.
So
I'm
OP.
calling OP bro.
Okay,
That's
love it.
that
So
works.
let's call him OP or bro. So OP, does he give us any like examples of evidence that he thinks point to his wife having an affair with his brother,
Uh,
other than just them trying to get close? I'm really just very curious about that.
okay. He says, I've questioned whether my wife and Dean are having an affair. I have read some of those messages and they don't seem flirty, and most of their plans are online. But even if it's just a friendship, it does feel like betrayal to me.
So they're making plans to hang out and hanging out without him.
Yes,
Okay, I want
which
you to,
is what a friendship is.
yes, of course. I want you to push back on this because as I say
Hmm.
it, I know that it's wrong.
Okay.
But I do have a little bit of a different, like, if this were his sister and not his brother, I mean, certainly wouldn't change in terms of like the abusiveness or stuff like that. But like,
Ooh, I
I,
think it would be so much harder to defend.
yeah, well, I think, but my thing is like, I think it's strange if, like, if I had a sister and Eric was like, I'm just gonna be best friends with your sister and hang out with your sister, I would be
Off the
like,
bat, that just
wow.
sounds weird.
It sounds weird, but
Hmm.
like if he was like, I don't have a sister, I have a brother, and if he were like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with your brother, I would be so excited. I'd be like, oh my God, great. I would love that friendship to flourish. And so I'm having a
Ah,
prejudice against an opposite sex thing in a
yes.
situation where it's a heterosexual couple
My
because
situation is trickier personally
hmm,
because, well, this is what this I can't is hurting. This is what broke my limerence spell. Limerence being the obsessive, incontrollable infatuation with a person, which is basically because you have trauma that you don't want to resolve, so you escape to a fantasy world of obsessing about someone
yeah,
and,
that makes
and making
sense.
you whole.
Yeah.
And when this person told me, I think after 10 years of me being obsessed and just couldn't get over it, said, I think I would be your older sister's best friend. I think we would be best
Uh,
friend. I think I would empathize with her. And like
how could she say that to you?
this, this is a woman that had a narcissistic girlfriend and
Wow,
knows. And
that must be
to
why.
her credit, I had not put all the pieces together
I
yet, probably to be able to tell her.
yeah.
I would have hoped it would have been enough, but that's not fair, you know? Um, but I didn't, that broke that spell
Yeah.
because I was like, wait, you, I realized I thought this woman was ultimately going to make me whole and protect me from my sister. And when she said that, I was like, oh, hell, ew, fuck. I don't want anything to do with you.
Right.
So what now scares me, I think, ultimately of getting in a relationship is because I don't have that like kind of normative gender role to say, like if I had a brother or well,
You could be like, it's
whatever.
weird.
The gay thing makes it hard.
Oh yeah,
But
that
the
makes me.
opposite, like that's not appropriate. Like, so my sister would be friends with my partner, and that would be okay. Two girls, two
Even
gals.
though, but that's a
But
good point.
I would, off the bat, I
Yeah,
don't want Well,
That'd
see,
be
I
that.
would never get in this situation because
Yeah,
I would never enter a relationship or marriage. I mean, it broke me out of a 10-year obsession, dog,
yeah,
from one
yeah, yeah.
sentence.
That's pretty powerful.
That's going to be the first thing going in is like, hey, do have some baggage.
Right.
And I figured it out and I'm ready to move forward. But like, you need to understand this. I guess, I think, yeah, he should have explained it to her. I don't know.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
yeah.
be the
But
first
also,
time.
once he explained it, that should have been enough for her.
Yeah, yeah.
That should have been enough for her.
How do you have
Unless,
two kids and then like get here? That's
no,
what would have happened to me actually, though. If I would have just gotten married and
yeah, but then somebody, I would hope, you would hope that the person that you were with, once you said, okay, maybe I'm only realizing this now, maybe, whatever the case may be, but this is a hard line in the, excuse me, sand for me.
bless you.
Like, thank you. Like, this person caused me a lot of like harm. So it's really troubling. Like, it's hurting me for
Yeah.
you, you're doing is causing me pain. For them to like double down is a huge red
And
flag.
so, yes, it's the ultimate betrayal
Yeah, that's right.
because what he has needed his entire life, because I know I've needed this, is for someone, and as a child, an adult to step in and
Hmm.
say, this is not okay. This is not normal behavior, and you don't deserve this. And it's wrong. And his parents never did it.
Right.
And you would hope his wife, like for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I thought I would, um, damn, it's telling me upgrade now, you fucker. Can we like just start a new one?
Yeah, just start a new one.
Okay, screw y'all. All right, I'll send it to you. Just not validating him, but he's never been validated. But this, what I was saying,
Yeah.
I think this would have happened to me
Mm,
because I guess I empathize because he probably met his wife and was like, yeah, Dean, my brother is difficult. He's like,
yeah, right.
he's like, everyone loves him. He's fun, but like, he's just like kind of mean to me or whatever. And didn't fully realize everything.
Mm.
And then it probably triggered when his wife wanted to be friends with him.
Oh,
So
for
he might
sure.
not have made these realizations that like, it wasn't just bullying, it was abuse. And like he
Right.
has effects from it. And so
Right.
that would have happened to me if I would have gotten in a relationship and then I would have had this huge like freaking meltdown,
Mm,
crisis, realizing
mm,
it all.
mm.
And it would have like ruined a relationship. So like frick,
Yeah.
save that. Save by the bell.
Yeah, I agree. And like,
I'm
I
glad.
think we should, I think what you said earlier, like towards the beginning, is also like a good point, is in that it was probably like in terms of his parents, it is like boys, oh, their boys are fighting, or boys are, this is how boys behave, like, which is so
Sibling
not
rivalry.
right. And I think in particular with like little boys, they're supposed to be kind of like girls being mean. I don't know. I guess there is an expectation for girls to be mean in a different way. Maybe it's like the boys' expectation that they'll be like fighting, like physically
I
fighting, and
agree. I
like,
think it would be
yeah,
harder to distinguish, especially what sounds like the behavior of boys. Like his was more of like gross. Like my sister would have never done that to me.
right. Like tell, like say that
'Cause
kind of thing at
that's
school.
like audacious to say in like a crowd at school yourself. You know,
Right. That's so fucked up. I wonder if his parents knew he did like stuff like that. Like I wonder if he came home and
I
told his
bet
parents
he
like,
um I bet he did. He's probably commented more on this. I bet he did, not for everything, but for some. But when he got the, oh, come on, it was a joke. Or, oh,
Mhm.
that's your
Yeah,
brother. That's just how he is. Once
right.
you get that a couple times
You don't want to do
and
it.
you kind of get knocked down, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, if I complain about this, if I bring it up, it's gonna be like I'm gonna be the annoying one because I'm
Yeah.
bringing it to their attention and they now have to deal with it and they don't want to deal with
Mhm.
it. They just want it to go away.
Yeah, that sucks. I
It's,
think,
I would not, I now actually have changed. Like, I have the full power and strength to have a child.
of course you
Hear me
do.
roar. I know I didn't feel this way a month ago, even a month
Oh,
ago.
Adrian.
I, but I do now. Is that
Mm,
not wild? Like
that's pretty amazing.
I would, I,
You absolutely do.
I used to think like they're gonna be embarrassed of me.
Oh, Adrian.
Now I think truly
They'd be
they would be in
scared.
such great hands.
Of course they would. And they would think you're
Emotionally,
hilarious.
mentally, everything. I would be
You'd be like
proud.
the cool mom.
And I ain't doing it right now or maybe
Yeah,
ever, but
right.
it's a
But that's a
change
big
in my
deal.
percept. Yeah,
That's a
it's
big
crazy.
deal. Yeah.
Now, what I've never examined is why my mother has
Mm.
said never wanted me to have children.
She said
What?
she what? She said she didn't want you to have kids?
She just said it, not in those ter words, but in it is so hard, Adrian. Like, and I voiced that like I don't think I could do it because not knowing because I was emotionally damaged. That's what I didn't know. So many chances she had. Um, and she's saying, I get it, kind of like I understand. And
Okay.
like I have always felt blessed that I did not have that pressure from my mother. And
Yeah, which
I'm like, wait, what?
maybe she
I think it's because she was overwhelmed by parenthood because of her
mm,
child that she
mm,
didn't know how to deal with. And she is like, it's exhausting. Like, don't do it.
mm.
Don't do it. That's what I think now.
So have you ever had a conversation with your mom where you're like like my sister has like treated me in these ways and has like
Yeah, I've untangled it all. And she's as of recent, as of this week, because I
oh
sent her
wow.
my article and
You sent it to her.
I did. And she stumbled at first to kind of grab at some compliments, like it's excellent writing. So what is that website? How public is it?
Really?
I've just never heard of it. Um,
So
and
she
I
just
cut
doesn't
through,
want
I said, you're worried Jenny's gonna see it.
mm,
And she was like, well, yeah. And which I know. Um, and I do struggle. I was like, I'm not posting it anywhere. And she doesn't understand that much about that. I was like, she's not gonna just find it.
right, right.
And, whatever. And
So why is she worried that Jenny's gonna see it? What's the fear? What is she afraid of?
because this is the main point. She is and has and will forever be more concerned with protecting her at the
Mm.
cost of me because she
Oh.
knows if Jenny were to read that, that would be a blow. It would be a just of course, right? Like you
Well, I'm
understand.
yeah, but I guess
She couldn't handle it.
I'm trying to understand if she's afraid of Jenny and Jenny's reaction, or if she's worried for her feelings,
Yeah,
or if she's like
all the
what it
above. And so so then we got further. I dug deeper because I was in this like psychological mindset of like, I know what all this is, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
call you on it in the moment. And I was kind of on fire. And
Nice.
yes, and I knew I was like, It was the first time I've been able to get through this type of conversation because I could like stick to the facts and not start crying.
Oh,
And that's always been my lifelong struggle because the
yeah.
second I try to talk about it, I'm like, ah, and I cry, and then I can't ever really express everything. So
Mm,
I told her, um, that, well, okay. The second after she asked how public it was, and we went through that, she did respect that, I need to say my truth. And then she said, my one wish. And I did know that because she told me a couple months ago in New York. And it is that me and Jenny could be together and she wouldn't affect me. She would
what
not
a way to put
affect
that.
me.
What a way to put that. What a way
Do you
to
know another way to put that?
that she would not be a horrible abusive, that she wouldn't abuse you.
That I get used to it, that I
See, because I was
don't
trying to say it
let
in
the
a way that would have
abuse
been
affect
actually a
me.
nice, the good way to say it, versus like, yeah, this is like the responsibility here is on you somehow,
It's my
with,
problem.
without challenging the
I,
person that's actually. Did you
it,
say something to her about that? It's
God,
hard in the
not
moment.
in the moment. I
It's hard.
did, but not as well. And I need to go back because it is such like if you were at the court or it's someone said I did it or I'd be like, this is the best evidence because she said it multiple times in those exact words. I related it to something else and I didn't just nail it in saying you want me to get comfortable with mistreatment
Yeah, that's
so
right.
that you are comfortable
Right.
and you have the illusion of family
Damn.
unity.
Damn. So
So
it's like,
I am telling you it's hurting me,
right,
and you're just saying
right.
if you could only get to that point.
Peace is more important than, and peace and comfort are more important than your actual well-being.
And that is why I'm a people
That's,
pleaser.
that's
That
gotta
is
really
why I
hurt.
avoid conflict.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and the reason that that was the answer, my entire, so that was the theme, of course. That answers everything. She knows, she does understand. She, in her own words, have like said she was a bully, and
Wow.
especially to me. And then in the next sentence is, but she needs us. So
Wow.
that's enmeshment. That's, um,
Codependence. It's like a lot of things.
s I need a, but I said, this is like me telling you, Mom, it, I just wish you and Dad could have gotten to a point where he just didn't affect you and y'all
Oh,
didn't have to get
yeah.
divorced.
Yeah. What'd she say to that?
Silence. Silence. But that's what's always been baffling to me because I thought that was like an easy look at this. You didn't
Right.
feel a relationship was healthy, so you
Right.
ended it, and we all adapted and supported you.
Right.
Well, that's not true. I supported my mom. No one
Mm,
else did,
mm,
especially Jenny.
yeah.
She disowned her and told her she ruined our family.
Oh my
But
God.
revisionist history, right?
Right. Right. Of
So
course.
I guarantee this is what this guy is going through. And what the sad thing, the end, and I will end this, is no one will believe you.
Ugh, that's terrible.
And so you just have to get these types of people out of your life.
Mm,
And
mm-hmm.
it's the hardest when it's your
Of
family,
course. Yeah.
but you cannot react to them at all. You can't like
Right.
and don't let those flying monkeys who are the people that come and say like, dude, you're being crazy. You're gonna divorce your wife over your brother? Like, it's your brother. Like, come on, and they just don't fully understand, and it's so hard. And I don't
Yeah.
think people, until you fully like deal with someone like this in your life,
You just like don't understand.
only some people are so lucky.
Oh God, that's awful.
But it could be, it's usually like, think about bosses. A lot of these people
Yeah.
work their
Yeah.
way up. And I mean,
And
countless
how
times
messed
people
up.
get crazy because they're a boss.
Well, and
Because
how messed up is it that like that type of personality, which is like obviously there's
thrives,
yes, thrives in the
dude. In this
little
America,
that we've
it
created.
runs the
Yeah, that's right.
country.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and you know another thing
Yes.
that's well, I think we agree. This guy is not the asshole.
I love him. And what I am going to do and promise is that I'm going to write in my due time, of course, but it will be supportive. And I hope he reads it
Love
because
it.
I truly do. I'm going to write something very
Yeah, I
heartfelt
think that's
that I
great.
hope validates him because people have like
Wonderful.
mentioned it in the comments that
Right.
like this is narcissistic, toxic
Yeah, right.
behavior, but no one's fully. I want to rock this fucker's world.
I cannot wait. When did OP? What was when was the original post? How long ago?
Oh, good question.
I'm curious about what is going to come of
What
this.
if it's like 12 years ago? And you go and it's like, RIP, this guy's gone.
This
I
guy's
wouldn't be surprised
Oh, I hope that's not.
because if he hasn't figured it out,
Yeah.
it's either us or them. 8 days ago.
You're totally in the time period.
And this
Where
is also now I'm just my lifelong mission. I am going to find these people
I love
and
it.
validate the fuck out
That's
of them
wonderful.
and
You'll
tell
validate.
them what they're going through and just, yeah. Because I really, if someone would have done that for me,
Yeah.
dude,
Like, yeah.
would have
Well,
saved
and by the
years.
way, I think it was very courageous of you to send what you wrote to your mom. I think that was really brave.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part because, like,
Yeah.
even yesterday, my dad's 70th
Oh, how
birthday,
was it?
it was great. It was absolutely fabulous.
That's
There
wonderful.
was undoubtedly, of course, drama before
Uh,
created by
yeah. Was she there?
my dad. No, I'm just kidding. No, no. Yes, she was there. She gave a speech and she cried. And oh my God, it was so special.
Oh my God. What did she say?
Oh, it was like, because he's her like savior, or like
Got it.
he's never the wrong because he's perfect. He is passive. Like both my parents are passive, but he is the more passive
I see.
and
So she
whatever.
gets to totally control him.
He absolutely.
Got it.
And he is image focused, very image focused. And I think that's rooted in shame. Very
Mm,
classic, like
mm,
his upbringing.
mm,
So he would avoid like any, stigma, like
mm,
therapy, like that sort of thing, or diagnosis, or it could go to like no or fights, or like
mm.
girls,
Ah,
quiet. Like that's what he would prefer. So, and that's what Jenny would prefer too.
mhm.
So, they team up. So she gave his like
Dang.
accolades, and then, said, I just love you so. I honestly, I was not listening because I couldn't. I
Yeah,
could not.
yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
can't like recall much because
Well, no, that's
I
good for
knew
you
my
for
face would show what
dissociating.
I was
Like,
hearing.
and why? Why put yourself through that, right? Like,
Yeah,
why
it's
subject yourself to
disgusting.
it? Yeah, yeah.
So, but it was. It was great. I was really proud of myself. I went home
I'm
um
really proud of you.
afterwards because my mom had like manipulated like both me and my sister to stay with her. Um after my dad's 70th birthday party, again divorced. Like
Because
um
she was feeling like needy, you think, after him getting attention?
yeah, definitely, definitely. And she's um yeah, it's been they like handled divorce just like terribly. Like
Mm.
we're gonna divorce and then we expect you to still spend the same amount of time with each of us, like
Oh,
that
wow.
you would. So cut yourselves in half.
Oh
Like,
my God. That's
ugh.
so hard.
God, they're awful. But cut. They're not, but I love that. Okay, so it's sad because it's very hard to send back to sending that to my mom because
Yeah.
then we'll have days. She actually came into the party. She brought my sister's kids. It's a beautiful freaking moment. Came in and saw all his brothers and sisters who she hasn't seen in years.
Really?
Since the divorce.
Why'd she
Like
do that?
hasn't seen them. Why did she come in?
Yeah.
Um Honestly, I don't know. And I don't want to get too in the weeds. Like
Yeah,
I
sure, sure,
suspect
sure.
there's like something there could be something afoot. I mean,
What does
this
that
and
mean?
I have to test my senses because I am been conditioned to be hyper fixated and like aware of possible threats. So my mom said I heard her say she talked to my dad on the phone the day before. And that's
Ah,
oh wait, now I'm realizing it was his birthday.
so that
70th
anniversary.
birthday. So I don't know. Maybe that's
Well,
not
wait,
that. See, but I'm crazy.
do you
Like
think I mean, his current wife, what was her reaction when your mom came in?
she's fine. So wait, that's not
Uh,
weird. I think that's normal, and I think it should have happened like a
yeah,
long
yeah.
time ago because my dad's wife does the same thing with
Uh-huh.
her ex-husband. And they
Uh-huh.
share holidays. And to me, that's very thoughtful and
Yeah,
convenient
right. For
for
your
the
children.
kids
Yeah,
who are
right.
trying to plan holidays with limited time.
Right,
And
right.
you're saying like, "Hey, I know we brought you into this world and then we just
Without your
fucking
permission.
blew it up
Yeah, right.
and
God.
in your foundation we split it
Oh,
up." And
God.
that's, you do that's
Yeah, right,
fine.
right, right.
But don't then go and make us feel guilty
Yeah,
for
that's crazy.
like
That's crazy.
it's and so that is when I realized maybe I have some emotionally immature parents. And they don't know everything or
Yeah.
really much anything
Ah!
at all. And
Oh God.
that's when my
Sorry,
life
Adrienne.
changed. And
Ah,
I'm
well, that's
like
good at least. At
putting
least.
in the wrong advice for the
Oh my
wrong
God.
person for
Right.
by the wrong people. And
Right.
I grew up. Yeah.
I literally want you to change, or maybe not change your Reddit handle, but create a new Reddit handle that is just called the validator. And you just go in the comments and you just validate the shit out of these poor people that are experiencing these things. The val
Wait.
it's
Oh,
like
oh, I'm
it's like
just my
your
name. Just my
superhero.
name. Yes.
Yeah.
The
Like your
validator. Can I change my name?
your superhero name. You're like it's almost like you're a vigilante, but like the validating
It
vigilante.
is. Traditional superheroes, it's against like physical threats.
Right.
Physical threats. Y'all don't know the threat of something
That's
that
true.
will be out of your life and have given you the weapon to hurt yourself.
There it is. There it is.
How dangerous is that?
Pretty dangerous.
So, what would a superhero like
I
that
love
wear?
this. I'm protecting you from emotional and psychological threats. That's amazing. And it's a therapist.
Honestly, all that is all this is. It's identifying feelings,
Mm,
or like, that's not okay, and that's
right.
okay.
Yeah,
That is what, yeah, I could do it.
you could
God,
do
I
it.
could have been a grandma.
Well, you still can be the therapist, the people in the comments, the people's therapist.
Therapy, yeah, therapist is so 2024, before, BC. We'll have to think.
BC.
We have to think of something like, well, before the end of this capitalist deathscape.
Yes. Oh,
But that, lost my train of thought there.
love it. Love it. I
Yeah,
think
now
I think it's
it's not therapy, it's
vigilante
vigilantism.
therapy now. It's like Luigi, but with therapy.
He would totally understand
He
this.
would get it. He would get it
He would
immediately.
get, and what he did is not dissimilar to what I'm gonna do.
Because you're gonna assassinate those anxious feelings.
I mean, I really am. At the end, I'm assassinating narcissist.
There you go.
And who is, oh,
Pew
shit,
pew.
is this a sign? Who's the ultimate narcissist right now? I mean, it's Trump.
Musk
It's Trump.
or Trump. Yeah.
And I'm the
Tweedledee or
assassinator of, did, did this just fall in my lap?
oh my God, we're gonna put out this podcast and there's gonna be the FBI is gonna be like banging on your door. We mean this metaphorically.
Bring his
Federal Bureau of
FBI.
Investigation.
Let me get close to him.
Yeah. Oh my God, amazing.
All right, give it to me.
Okay. Part two, episode one, part two. So I'm gonna read this one.
That's what I should have done. I'm
I don't think
realizing.
I don't think we should shit ourselves. I think you gave me the gist, you gave me the high level points. Um,
A should is a will next time.
okay. I thought that was a straw. It is a chopstick
I would have. What?
for stirring.
That's, you got to watch little tricks like that with him. First the chopstick.
Then what? What's coming next? He's trying to break my teeth off.
You're gonna ask for your toothbrush. He's gonna give you the toilet brush.
Oh, no. I
There's too
know.
much trust in your relationship
I
if
know
you'll
it's too
put that
much.
in your
Yeah,
mouth.
it's too much. Okay, so this is, am I the asshole because I couldn't take my sister-in-law to the hospital for my niece, even though I don't, that title is a little confusing. Okay, but here we go. I know it doesn't sound good, but for some information, I love it when it starts out, and I am the asshole that starts out. I know this doesn't sound good. It's not okay. Let's see where this goes,
Well, then
guys.
make it sound better next
I
time.
sound,
Off the beat.
listen, I know it sounds like I am the asshole, but let me try to convince
I
you
tell you,
otherwise.
I'm
Okay.
not.
So I know it doesn't sound good, but for some information, I'm a 20-year-old female, and my brother and his wife are 24 each, with an almost 3 and 1 year old. And we all kind of live together. Last night, my niece, 3, had a little bit of a fever, but nothing crazy. Today, she was saying it hurt when she went to the bathroom and had an itch, so we were thinking UTI. Fast forward a few hours, and my brother leaves to go get to go help some of the wife's family move things from a relative's home, and tells me if I could maybe take them to the doc asks if I could maybe take them to the doctor, and I said sure, thinking it was going to be an urgent care or a hospital nearby. There are 2 hospitals less than 15 minutes from our home and at least 3 urgent cares in the same vicinity. The wife ends up asking me to take the niece to the hospital that's like 30 to 40 minutes away. I tell her, I don't know because I don't drive on the expressway. And I ask, what about the baby? She said she wants to leave her with my mom, who is sick and is already kind of pointed fingers at me and my mom, thinking we got the 3-year-old sick. So it didn't make sense to me. And I got annoyed because she's 24 and has two babies and refuses to drive because she's anxious. So she ended up saying she'll just wait for my brother to get back to take them to the hospital. But I feel like she's kind of pissed and I feel she's going to end up bringing it up. She's not afraid to tell my brother um us something if she doesn't like it. I don't know, maybe I'm too harsh, but I swear this is always the same problem with them. She refuses to drive and can't do anything by herself. So this was the writing was a little jumbled,
Uh-huh.
but to clarify some points as I understand them, there's
Yeah, characters.
sister, brother, sister-in-law, two kids, 3 years old, 1 year old. They all live together. The 3-year-old,
But kind of.
kind of, whatever that means.
Okay.
Whatever that means. Because
Clock
you're
that.
right. Kind of. That's unclear. Or OP, what does that mean?
Yeah,
Tell
one of the kids lives in the car. Like what's
like
going on
what is
here?
it? Do you live in a treehouse outside? Like what is happening? And so, but it sounds like the brother left and said, "Hey, can you take them to the doctor?" And the sister said yes. And then after the brother was gone, the sister-in-law said, "I want to go to this hospital 40 minutes away." And the sister's like, "Well, I don't drive on the expressway." OP is like, "I don't drive on the expressway. Why do you need to go to that hospital?" And the sister-in-law is like, and the sister, the OP, was like, "What are we gonna do about 1 year old? What are we gonna do about 1 year old here? And let's take her to your mom's, even though apparently there's some drama there." And so
Was
she
the
says, "I don't
sister-in-law,
know."
could she drive?
It says yes, the sister-in-law can drive, has her license, but chooses not to because she's too anxious.
Anxious. Okay. That was the anxious. I'm like, I can't keep up with all your driving.
All the driving things, but both of them are apparently anxious. But sister OP is too anxious to drive on the expressway, but apparently sister-in-law is just too anxious to drive, full
In
stop.
general.
So, what are your first
Okay.
impressions of this write up, Adrienne?
There's so many off the beat.
Yeah, first thing.
It's not her problem at all.
That's true.
The audacity uh, of the sister-in-law
Yeah,
to be like, I don't drive. I don't drive, but I want you, who's
right.
not comfortable driving
Right.
on the expressway. I mean, that's dang. Also, just sorry. Ride share, ride
Yeah,
share,
okay, actually, that's a great
ride
point.
share.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
But this, I often think the just find the audacity in the people. Like, I would never make my problem someone else's problem. Like, I just
I
can't
completely
ever.
agree. I'm of like two minds of this because part of me is like, if my nephew were sick, I would be like, of course, I will take him anywhere.
Of course, but
Of
they don't have
course,
that relationship. But it's
it doesn't sound like they have that relationship. But also, if there are hospitals around that are closer, I'd be like, can we not take him to one of these? Like, what is so I'd want to know, like, what's the problem with like taking him to a closer proximity? But I certainly,
true.
so there's kind of, that
They're
adds a little
all
bit of
assholes.
complicating. They're all assholes, other than the other. Well, and you know what?
Even
Like,
the OP, because you're right. You just
yeah,
made me think this
yeah,
is her
that's
niece.
her niece. Like, sure, that's annoying, and I would be really annoyed, and I would be like, but at the end of the
Yes.
day, like, it's my niece, like, but then that begs the question, though, are you the asshole if you say, listen, I hear you that you're anxious and I want to help and I want to help sweet little Annabelle or whatever. And like, I will take her to this hospital down the street or I will take her to this urgent care down the street. If you want to take her, if you can't give me a good reason to drive out of the
Yeah.
way,
Because she hasn't, right?
I don't see anything in here that says that there was a reason given for why that one was the one, like the one farther away. Like if she were
But
like,
she implies it's farther away. There are
correct.
ones closer.
Correct. She says that there definitely are ones closer, but I don't know why the mom is insisting. Like, for example, if my sister
Yeah.
was like, okay, he has to go to the one that's an hour away because that's where the best doctor is for
That's
X.
what
Okay,
I'm
fine, fine.
assuming.
Then I would say, okay. But if it's like, also it's maybe they think it's like a UTI, which isn't like life-threatening.
True.
You know what I
True.
mean?
That's the ultimate factor. Or I guess there's two layers to this. When I
Mhm.
look at it, I gotta look at it why they need a ride.
Right.
Is it a birthday party?
This is a great point.
Or is it hospital?
Right.
And I know it's just a UTI, but she's one.
She's 3. She has a 1-year-old.
It's the three. Okay, so they have it doesn't matter one, three. To me, that's you don't waste time. I don't
Right,
know. They're
right.
kids. I would want to, as
Yeah,
a new parent, like
yeah.
that's priority.
I
Um,
agree.
so then if she has a valid reason, I think the OP should want to take the kid. And
Yeah.
if
That
I agree, like, I'm going to take them down the street to this closer one, unless you can fill in the blanks for
that's
why.
right.
And then me personally, if it's a valid reason, like, I would hop on it.
Hell
Or
yeah.
if it's something
Because
I
we have
don't
nieces and nephews
understand,
too.
yeah,
And
I would
like,
in a second. And then another thing that last, if she does, unless, see, this is what's hard about these. The OP could be twisting it.
oh yeah, we're only getting the OP's perspective.
Right.
The
But
OP's P, so to speak. The OP's P.
but she is an auntie. Love our aunties.
We do love an auntie. Can I share a couple of comments that I think are
Absolutely.
like good, like on point with what we're saying? First of
Yes.
all, one that I
Like
really love.
mine's.
Yes, exactly. First of all, one that I really love is not the asshole says not the asshole and then just says also I'm not sure how people kind of live together. So like exactly on your point. I'm like, what do you mean kind of? Like what are we talking about here? And then
I'll read that back in her like that might open some questions.
like first of all, what is the living situation? But then this other person actually made a really good point that I didn't even think about. And they say not the asshole. The parents' priority should be their child, yet your brother left to help her family move instead of taking his own kid to the hospital. Look at us foregoing the man's responsibility here.
Amy, I didn't even
I,
remember what he was doing. I
like,
filled in
where
the
is
blanks,
he?
assumed he went to work, bringing home the bacon.
He's
Don't
bringing
don't
home that.
mess with him. Don't bother him. We got it.
You're like a teamster. You're like,
And by Teamster, I mean all the women at home taking care of
yeah, that's right.
everything.
That's right. Literally everything. Because like, where's dad?
Who can't
Dad
drive?
can drive.
Yeah,
So you like this is a great point by this commenter.
I
Like, where
crossed
is
that
dad?
off. Out
Where
the,
is dad?
yes, you're so right. Why wasn't he? And because it's
That's just
leaving them
literally
to
his day.
figure it out.
That's right. Leaving the women in his life to take care of the sick children. And also like the this commenter pointed out the way that OP wrote it was he was going to help the sister-in-law's family move. Like so like it seems like perhaps what's in between the lines here is that this sister-in-law gets pampered, whatever she needs,
Yeah.
whatever like people are
That
doing
I
things.
mean, you can. I
She
would.
does have two
There's
young kids.
evidence of that.
She does have two young kids that she's taking care of, but query is she taking care of them because she's asking OP to
Yeah.
really
And
so
oh, okay. So I was kind of shaming OP, and I'm gonna walk that back. I'm gonna walk it back
I
because
was shaming her too. I was shaming her too.
there's probably this is equatable to my story here. In
Mm.
a normal situation,
Mm. Mm.
you should want
Right.
to take your niece, right? In a healthy
Absolutely.
situation, you should want your wife to be friends with your brother.
Yes, yes.
That's
Good
what
full circle moment.
is normal.
Right.
But I think maybe the undertones, which you just nailed, is that the sister-in-law is a fucking bitch and so entitled.
Yeah.
And OP is only what, 20
Hmm.
and kind of
Yeah.
living with them.
Yeah. Whatever that
So
means.
she recognizes it and is probably like being stubborn and is like, y'all, listen at this. I don't want to
Right.
do this. And I'm over here like, you should want to do this, but it's not about those kids. It's not, it's about she's tired of this. This is probably the fifth, sixth, thousandth
Right.
time. And um, it's the big picture.
The only thing that could change me back is like maybe she's kind of living with them, quotes, because there's an expectation that maybe she would help with the kids. And if that's the case, I'm kind of leaning
This is a
toward
need more
this
information.
is a need more information. I'm kind of leaning towards everyone's the asshole.
Yeah, back at
Yeah.
and And if you don't give enough information,
Yeah,
ladies and
exactly. Come
gents,
on,
you
OPs.
will be the asshole. This is the rules.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Thanks for coming to our podcast.
Okay,
Kind
one,
of,
we're gonna get kicked out, so I gotta leave with one court
yes.
case update that I'm
Yes,
gonna
do it.
give.
Give it to me. To me.
Quick, short summary. Back in 2007. So for me, this was special because that's when I was graduating high school, first year in college. And this was an 18-year-old, Anita Cutson, was found stabbed to death in her apartment in